Sonya might be on some people's
Huh.
mind. Oh.
GP.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. The Sylas comes in randomly. Now, so that's one of the most bizarre slot ins ever for an R4 Sylas, because what is he looking at that he really wants in terms of ultimates? Nothing really stands out as super defining that you immediately think yes.
Also remember that Azir and Mordekaiser were not picked
Right.
when he was selected.
Azir and Mordekaiser were not yet selected. Now the Gangplank comes in on R5, and it finds itself in a counter matchup against Smeb. So CuVee should have a good time, but we'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah. As you guys see, Max up there, he is now part of the coaching staff here for the side of Hanwha Life. And here we go. Taking a look at some of the compositions here.
I mean, Morgana, Caitlyn, Azir, Graves, and Mordekaiser. I like the Azir being slotted in last for more magic damage, because even though I'm prefacing that they have a bit of magic with the Mordekaiser and obviously the Morgana and whatnot, you don't want Ninja Tab Eyes to be picked up by the enemy team because you cripple the Graves and the Caitlyn. And it makes it very ineffective.
Yeah.
On the flip side, Gangplank, Volibear, Sylas, Ashe, and then at the very bottom there is Bard. They have to go in. They're going to Tempered Fate, Gangplank ult, and then try to wombo combo and dive, but you're running into all ranged champions that have massive disengage, terrain control.
Yeah.
It's looking pretty doomed.
It is. It is on paper. And again, these two teams, out of them, it definitely does feel like KT have the most riding on this game. So they're going to be trying really hard to win it. Hanwha Life kind of fighting for pride at this point with their 1-12 score line that you can see up towards the top. And we were talking so much about the AD carries and how both teams really try so hard to feed them all the CS, give them counter matchups, stuff like this. Viper on the Ashe, I mean, you talked about yes in lane, but I feel like he might just get blown up into smithereens by this comp or outranged. Or there's so many things that I think that KT's composition can do against Viper in this game.
Yeah, and I think that in this game, it's also very hard for Ashe to really do anything that she would ideally be seeking to do, because I feel like she's going to get left behind the rest of her teammates.
Yeah. When
the fights unfold. It is Viper, and he is the centerpiece, which is why, again, it's just so strange. We take a look at the runes here. Bit of an honest rune setup here by aiming. Nothing too bizarre. That is a beautiful Morgana skin, by the way. Lehends ends up whipping. Tormented Soil. Just getting some poke down. And we take a look at all of the rune setups across the board.
This presence of mind, seeing it so much nowadays.
Everyone really valuing it. And Graves with Ignite, by the way. Not Flash. And no, it is not a mistake.
It is Marlang.
It is a way to really amplify your dueling potential, as well as just kill threat whenever you proc phase rush in close quarter combat. Ucal, I mean, you know, look, everyone has a bunch of ones. He's about to get hit. That's how you're going to look at it. That's how you're going to look at it. This is a team effort here.
Well, what's really the difference between a 1 and an L, though? You know, it's kind of difficult to see unless you're typing it on a keyboard, right?
You're throwing some shade at me right now, aren't you? It's, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just trying to cover it up a little bit, but you caught on to it. And the 1 and the L, very similar. As Graves is 1-15, and the only win has been taken by Horewan Prince's Flawless against Team Dynamics early on in round 1. You're not even paying attention to the Graves win rate.
No,
You're looking
I
at
was
the farming.
more preoccupied with Marlang failing his double and triple shots. And now he's going to move over to the lane where the Gangplank is shoved in. Azir is even. So you can see he can't even account for where YeongJae is right now. So if randomly a Volibear just comes flying out of left field, Gangplank runs down because he has the giant crash, things are definitely not that bad. Now, I have no idea why CuVee didn't just recall and go for a cheater,
There's a massive wave of minions that are attacking them, but they're trying to get on top of CuVee. The damage will not come in, and with the TP, they're trying to land there onto the Graves. First Blood will go the way of Mireu with the teleport gank coming on in. And that massive wave of minions that had been crashed, certainly helping out.
And this is a really big victory because Sylas ends up getting the double buffs. He's the one that committed the teleport, and so he had the most to lose if nothing ended up happening. So a really good series of events ends up transpiring. Also Ignite burned by Graves, and down here in bot lane, TusiN and aiming. We'll see what they end up electing to do with this wave. No teleport on either marksman. Ucal holding the wave on his side of the lane, but see how else everything transpires in this game. Cloud Dragon's the first one of the game.
Yeah, see who's able to pick that one up as Marlang trying to get aggressive. He's going to take both these Scuttle Crabs. He's not just going to randomly run at the enemy jungler. He's Graves, of course, not Olaf. And so we're going to take another look here at the fight and how Hanwha Life were able to turn this around.
So this one was really strange. Marlang autos the barrel first initially, even though he shouldn't be worried about his HP when he's at full. And so the one auto attack actually ended up mattering on CuVee.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a blunder there.
Yeah, it was the difference between his surviving and dying, essentially, especially with the Ignite. You got to be pushing for all of that extra damage. But he was not able to do that there. As after that, I mean, Ucal was able to get a nice amount of minions ahead of the Sylas after that play. So there is a little bit of a trade back there, but obviously still a win for the side of Hanwha Life.
Yeah, everything just going pretty nice for Hanwha Life so far. Lost Chapter was completed by Azir, though. He was able to recall into that item, so he can perhaps lock up Mireu in mid lane for quite a while. Both bot laners just really playing tag right now with the waves. Black Shield comes out. Not the end of the world.
That auto from the Morgana nearly messed up the CS on the cannon. I got a little bit scared there. A little bit frightened. But the bottom lane, the Ashe is going to be just fine up against the Caitlyn Morgana lane. And that's why they're able to stay even so far. Nobody making an early move towards that Cloud Break. And both these junglers just trying to farm it out here. Graves having more CS than the Mordekaiser up on the top side, who did suffer the most from all of the shenanigans that happened early on.
And, ooh, aiming. Recall canceled, but doesn't even matter. Not a cannon wave. Yeah. And we're just continuously playing ping pong. No one is manipulating their lanes, by the way. We are just, everyone's just pressing letters at each other. QWER, couple of right clicks.
ABCD.
No, QWER.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, weird keyboard setup.
I mean, I like to press the A key for the attack move, but to each their own. And finally, Hanwha Life is going to come over here, take that Cloud, as it will be either Infernal or Mountain Soul that do come in here for this game number 1. And after that initial play, you see that the gold has kind of evened itself up here. Obviously, CuVee is going to be able to extend their lead a little bit by grabbing a bunch of gold from this wave. But at the end of the day, Ucal is doing a great job of dominating the mid lane ever since the beginning. And so he's getting a lot of value there and bringing his team back into the game.
And looks like he's trying to get that first turret plate. Not going to be able to. Summon some Sand Soldiers. And honestly, I'm mostly curious about how the Sand manages to die itself as it ends up being summoned. It's really weird. I'm not totally sure.
Technology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that movie with, what was his name? He plays Iron Man. Downey Jr. Why can't I? What's his first name?
You're asking the wrong.
Robert Downey.
Yeah, we said it at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, this is. I really don't know what that was, actually. We'll just say that it is. How about that? As now we're looking to get on top of the Azir. That's a nice little sweep, but it's not enough to get away from Mireu, who is going to drop down the chains and knock him down. The GP ultimate helping out with a bit of damage there, so an assist going the way of CuVee, who's doing his job up on the top side. He's doing his part. And with that little kill, it's going to mean that the Rift Herald is also going to go the way of Hanwha Life. They're going to get a nice little foothold here in the early game.
Yeah, they're almost up 1,000 gold. They should be able to pick that one up and then convert it into something meaningful. And Gangplank doing pretty well up in the top lane as well. Not sure how many grass procs the Gangplank has.
Yeah. And let's see if any other action really happens from here. You got to note that Mireu, I was talking about how Ucal was doing well in the mid lane. Maybe I was doing a little bit of a caster curse, in fact, because although he has taken the lead here in the CS, of course, after the roam, it is still a 2-0 Sylas. And for you guys who have played against Sylas in solo queue, it can get really obnoxious when it just gets out of control fed. Let's see how fed he can get here.
And, I mean, we just see the Azir ultimate, the alley-oop, and honestly, that doesn't look very nice. Somehow Sylas finds his way over the wall with the Gangplank ult.
Chains are powerful.
They really are, yeah.
I don't know how they connected through the sand wall. So we'll see exactly how much Mireu can carry from here. And things are definitely going really well for them. I mean, they got that going on, and actually Mireu's going to take a very aggressive trade once again. And this is what I was talking about, the kind of solo QS Sylas that can just take ultra aggressive 1v1 trades once he gets that lead. And it's beginning to show itself. Doesn't happen very often in pro play, especially in the LCK. But he's showing it off.
Nice volley there by Viper. And, okay, aiming in TusiN. Now, I mean, Viper could freeze with Lehends. There's no objective on the map, but we got a hot date, so ready? There we go.
Lehends is like, what are you doing? You gotta push, buddy. What are you waiting for?
So if they just froze and Volibear is that close, and you have Ashe Arrow and Bard ultimate, it's a guaranteed kill. Or Kate and Morgana can't walk up to the lane. Either way, it's winning.
Or you're getting summoned.
They're gonna push though, and they're bringing down Sylas.
Yeah, they have Rift Herald.
Yeah, they're gonna summon the Rift Herald. So this is really early, especially with how the lane is going in mid lane. Using it against the Azir's turret so that you get a lot of damage onto it and break it maybe with the second Herald is super important.
Or you wait for them to push and get it down to 2 or 3 plates, one of the lanes, so that you can get first blood turret, which we see most often in the LCK, but that just didn't happen here. They're just going to try to feed the gold over to Viper.
In a weird turn of events also, I mean, if you're accelerating the early game, it can end up being counterproductive because your Gangplank's very happy up in top, and because your Sylas is winning, he's happy as well.
Yeah, they're content, you know?
Yeah. And Graves, I mean, he's farming it up. He is level 8, YeongJae as well, level 8. Graves actually about to ding 9 off of the golems.
See, you check that very popular control ward spot.
Yep.
But he's just doing Krugs. There are some pings from the red team onto the dragon, so it doesn't look like KT want to try to get in onto this dragon. You see Lehends helping push here.
Yeah.
They're going to get priority and take down this Ocean Drake.
A super spicy Drake here would be Mountain. I think it would be a lot better than Infernal.
There you go.
And I say that because Mountain is so obnoxious against both of these team compositions. Both teams really hate it, whereas Infernal, it's still able to be played around. So both teams can conduct themselves in a pretty similar way, but when their hard-on engages are just being invalidated by resistances and stuff, it makes it very, very difficult to try to play. Mordekaiser going for Leandri's first item, but he has a dagger in the inventory, so a little bit of Build-A-Bear going on for him. Trinity Force was already completed on the Gangplank. Binding lands by TusiN.
Yeah, and the bottom lane has mostly just been let's see who can compete to push the fastest. Let's try to get some plates, guys. There were no plates taken by aiming in TusiN, the Caitlyn Morgana lane, so there is that. That did come in.
Oh. Yep. Not gonna be grabbed by Mordekaiser there.
Here comes the dive. And, well, they got here a little bit late. They're still considering it, though. They see Marlang, and they're just going to try to burst him 100-0. And there it is, as aiming has to flash away. Morgana, another sacrifice. That's going to be 2 more kills and this turret. It should be down on the bottom side as Hanwha Life look to extend their early lead.
Yeah, and, I mean, Hanwha Life are just cruising ahead right now. They're going to raise this bottom tier 1 turret. They're going to get the first turret gold for themselves. They're not shoving the next wave, which is interesting because now it means that the wave coming into bottom, I don't know why Morgana's going with Caitlyn, but the wave coming into bottom, it could just be frozen. And Kate could just hold it indefinitely at the golems. Because even if Rift Herald's coming up and you make that as an argument, well, KT's in no business to fight it anyway, so they shouldn't be thinking about it as an objective. There's also no turret plates left to capture. 2.5 minutes until that mountain, and, you know, drafts aside, unless this really turns into a dynamic Afrika-esque type of game that goes the distance and goes 40 minutes, this is really looking doomed. It does look like Hanwha Life.
They're in the driver's seat here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how they had no idea
한 방에 터트릴 각은 안 되나?
that they were here.
이거 볼래? 이거 볼래?
Let's go here, let's go here.
다 왔어.
Got him. Yeah. And there were some wards in their own jungle, and there was mid missing. Like, that should have been pretty obvious that, you know, there was some rotatos going on, but they just seem to have no idea. As here we go again, the chains come in, and that is a dead Azir. He's gonna try his best, and now Smeb might be forced. Okay, they're gonna go forward with the GP ultimate as now they're diving, trying to get on top of that turret. The Death Realm comes in.
Yep.
And a little bit confused, but they got 5 members up here. They're definitely going to get Smeb, I would imagine. CuVee just going to tank it up. And down will go the Mordekaiser. This is a steamroller for Hanwha Life here.
Well, at this point, Hanwha Life, they're a little bit over 4,000 gold ahead. Also, the itemization, definitely a lot of loss to Shopkeeper here in this game. We'll get to that after. TusiN kind of, ooh, that's a magical gurney.
Yeah, that's why you save it for the ideal time.
A magical gurney.
Wow.
Doing it at
Nice, yeah, that's
like
really, it's really cool.
Yeah, because I got under safety.
It's really fancy.
Thanks.
Oh boy. Yeah, the Bard mechanics. Bradley Chadson, he knows what's up. He also he protect, but he also attack.
Yeah.
So that time he was protecting, and he did a good job there. And Mireu's really just, he's making life so miserable for Ucal today.
Yeah. And so a lot of Sand Soldiers, they're not sure what side they're on. Does not really
아들
matter.
킥 받았다. 들어갈게. 들어갈게.
I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna go in. He manages to
아들
get
아들.
that cancel.
다 왔어. 아들. 아, 캠프. 나 괜찮아. 나 살 수 있어.
I can live.
야, 나오면 다 잡아.
Oh!
If I come out, let's get him.
Hey, so...
What?
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on in this game.
Was that Timber fake? Looks like it was.
No, that was Volibear. Because it ohm recorded the turret.
Looks like both were used, though.
Okay.
And the arrow as well. So I think they used 3 ultimates to take it.
Alright.
We'll see which one was first.
Mountain Dragon is being taken. Okay, we got Volibear
like domination,
on the
man.
screen.
Yeah?
Okay, well.
No, now we have Sylas.
Sylas.
It's taken Volibear a while to solo this, so you got time.
Alright. See if it pans to any other champion.
Well, no. Sylas.
Well, he got 4 MR and 4 armor. Yeah. So that's pretty good. I mean, that's not, you know, it's not the biggest. It's much more valuable than Volibear.
Oh.
Okay. All right, the Venn diagram here.
Knows everything.
Yeah.
So you arrow TusiN, bait him into black shielding himself so that the Tempered Fate hits aiming, who did not have his flash, and maybe didn't have his net, but wasn't able to get out of there regardless. And the easy follow-up from the wrestler Volibear. Just pops in there, off the top rung. Here comes well, this is confusing. I am confused, and he's dead.
Yeah. Wasn't able to get away.
Yeah.
And so that is a shutdown going Aiming's way.
Hurt itself in confusion. That's what happened there. What is like the most iconic bear Pokemon?
Ursa? Ursa Ring? Isn't that it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Teddy Ursa? Is there any?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's it, right? Or Slaking, but I don't know if you...
Is that
a bear?
Is that a bear? I don't think that's a bear.
Yeah.
It's a sloth.
It can be a bear if you want.
Different animal. No, I don't think it can.
Stop making fun of my eyesight.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Oh, there's the new gen. There's that panda-looking bear. You know what I'm talking about? I forget what his name is.
Honestly, I haven't played too much of the newer gen. Still don't own a Switch.
Okay.
Yeah, I play on my Atari.
Yeah, I never actually picked up the expansion pack to Sword and Shield, which makes me just so sad. It feels like the hype died around it so fast, and I just feel bad.
Yeah.
There should just be an MMO.
Or a LOL Pokemon simulator.
But I guess an MMO would reach an inevitable end where everyone just uses the legend. Like, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they would have to set up, like, raids and stuff. Because you have, like, the built-in PvP,
yeah,
right? But they would have to, like, set up PvE content.
Yeah.
That's beyond just, like, defeating an Elite Four.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, group stuff somehow. It's a little bit confusing, I guess, with the setup of Pokemon and stuff.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, we're coming in here, taking all the vision. Oh, boy. Ucal is just... Oh, this is a very painful game for Ucal's Azir. He can't even sit in the lane against the Sylas.
I mean, the game is just so blown out of the water right now. The oppressiveness of Hanwha Life's team composition when they're ahead this far can't be understated. We mentioned in the draft that it's very hard for them to win, in mid and late game especially, but it's also on the assumption that the lanes would be conducted in a normal manner. And that just never happened. Things went from 0 to 100 very early on in the game. And with Graves just falling behind, Azir falling behind so much, it really causes the map to just fall apart. And so now we have a minute and a half until Mountain Soul comes up, and really it just feels like KT is just rolling over and dying.
Yeah. You've also got this GP up in the top lane, which currently has 2,500 more gold than his opponent. And because the gank originally failed up in the top side, he's had the plainest, cleanest free lane from that gank onwards. And the Mordekaiser is just doing 0. As he gets super fed, he's doing GP things, he's stacking the gold, and eventually he's going to have 3 items, and he's going to be critting you in the face. So there's not really much that KT can do about that at the same time.
And 40 seconds until the Mountain is going to come up. And we shall see where everything else is going. Looks like CuVee might go Guardian Angel 3rd with his BF sword. Could also just keep going on to crit. And, I mean, that would be a little bit sad.
Some Infinity Edge action.
Yeah. 15 seconds. This game just looks game over. Hanwha Life has the low ground. Just get the dragon. Just Bard ultimate. No.
Yeah, they're trying to do the combo again. And, I mean, they should be able to take this Morgana down, but she's going to Sonya says, oh boy, Ucal. I mean, he's just really, he's really not able to do anything. The saddest Azir I've ever seen. And, yeah, he's dead too. So there's the 3 kills going the way of Hanwha Life, and they are going to the Baron.
I don't know how this so consistently happens in the LCK. This is so insane to me. Soul is up, and if you get Soul, you just start the Baron for free, and the opponents are demanded to react to it.
Yeah, and they think that the Bard is somehow going to stop it.
It's just so disgusting, Valdez. It really is.
Okay, they're going to TP, but it's a little bit too late. As the smite should come in from Marlang, there is going to be the Mountain Drake handed over. As Marlang, he did his part. Doesn't matter if he dies. He knows he will. He's just trying to delay as much as possible as the stun comes in. And they're going to give the kill over to Viper. So now, with all of that insane gold that they have picked up, Hanwha Life will go back, try to buy their items, and then go ahead and push with the Baron. But, as you're saying,
but, I mean,
they could have gotten both.
Whose idea is it that they don't want to just immediately end the game? You get the Mountain Soul, you get the extra resistance, you get the EHP, you start the Baron, and then you left. Then you say, okay, well, we're going to do Baron now, and you come into us, and you're going to lose because we have the Soul, and we're so far ahead.
Yeah.
Then we're going to get the Baron, push with it, and Soul, you just lose. And it converts into Elder. We see a team fight breaking out, and it's so haphazard as well, because they end up winning it in dominating fashion, and I just think to myself, well, now they can split up members, or just go over to Soul, get that, do a reset, start the Baron, get the Baron, and then immediately convert into an end. But now, KT, they buy themselves a lot of time, because by KT getting the Dragon, after the Baron's taken, everyone runs over to the Dragon.
Oh,
no. You know what? Time is
I just can't. It's so sad for you, Cal. It's like the saddest Azir game I've ever seen.
The sand that is used in Lasagna's hourglass is definitely made up of Azir, so. God, this is one of the saddest things, yeah.
Oh, man, this goes beyond bullying. This is the saddest.
Baron has 1 minute left, though. And then we have 2 minutes of downtime until that mountain comes up again. But this is all bought time that KT has managed to get to try to let them get to their second, third items on some of their champions.
Yeah. Here come the rotations. Well, Mireu's dead. They're going to try to get on top of him. He tries to go and trade a kill, but it is not going to happen. With the Baron, they're going to try to push these two lanes as KT is out of position. I think they'll only get turrets here, I would imagine. We got Bard in the middle, so they're looking for a magical journey to go out of here. But actually, with that binding, it might be the Volibear going down. He is so tanky, though. It's crazy. As he's eventually going to go down. They get the Morgana, but a lot of trades going the way of KT that absolutely did not have to happen. There's another kill onto Lehends, and it's actually only Viper standing. Definitely a little bit of a blunder there towards the end of their Baron push, Sylas.
This is really, really surprising. So many shutdowns and so much EXP, and with all the waves coming into KT, this is like deja vu. We saw it earlier on tonight in Africa series, and now, I mean, you just see the way that they're playing it. Viper, he's not there. He's not ready to interact. There's no reason to do these things. They are consistently taking suboptimal plays. It's not the highest EV decisions that they could be making time and time again. And I mean, it's thought processes like these that contribute to their 1-in-12 record throughout the split.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's sometimes at the highest level, it's about the fewest mistakes that you can make rather than, you know, the flashy, you know, YouTube highlight plays. And that's why a lot of the time in the LCK, we have the top teams for a long time just being very safe, standard, straightforward, because they made the least amount of mistakes. At least nowadays, some of the top teams are very aggressive and just mechanically gods of the game, so that spices it up a bit, but you have to try to make as little mistakes as possible. And you can see now they're going to set up for the Mountain Drake, but they could have gotten this 5 minutes earlier. That still stands as they're looking to potentially catch someone on the top side, but there's nobody there. So just got to try to rotate down, and I would assume they would try to fight over this Mountain Drake.
And, I mean, 30 seconds, Hanwha Life, they should take out the Blast Cone. As they move into the jungle, they're going to clear out all of the vision. Mireu up in top lane, so he's going to teleport into the fight, it seems. He could also lock up Ucal and deny Ucal from joining the fight. That would be another option. But I think that with Sylas especially, I mean, having him at the team fight, stealing Smeb's ultimate, and then trapping Graves, because you know that they might try to, well, no, it doesn't look like they're going to try to do anything, actually.
Yeah.
Mountain Soul's just going to be given over completely for free. And KT are going to try to fight back against it. It is going to be the end decision.
Yeah, seems like that's the way it is going here. We do have the Baron spawning in 25 seconds. Looking to maneuver over there. Marlang spotted. It looks like he didn't know he was spotted. As that arrow is going to hit the board, he is just going to be stunned up for ages as the Temper Fate does nothing. And Mireu taking a ton of damage, has to go into his stopwatch here. Not the cleanest fight, but eventually they will take out the Mordekaiser.
And so, I mean, YeongJae is going to be able to heal up, especially, I mean, just look at the HP. Everyone just getting these shields back so quickly. It makes it so hard. And now Baron's even going to have to chew through it. More shields coming in. It's just, it's impossible to lose with this soul unless you really mess up. Teleport coming in now from Mireu.
Marlang, he's going to get in there a little bit too early. The smite for the health is not going to be enough. Ucal looking to get out of there as the chase will be going on. Looking for a Tempered Fate potentially as... Okay, they're just going to run in their face and not do much. They have the Baron, so they can essentially go whenever they want. They're going to wait for the minion wave to come on in. And they're just going to go back. Want to buy some items, want to play it safe after some of the mistakes that were made earlier on.
And we can see how this all transpires. So Marlang is on the right-hand side. Mireu comes in from behind. And honestly, I mean, without the soul, Mireu would have to Zanya's way sooner. He ends up using it, and Death Realm expires. Smeb just gets brought down pretty easily. Mireu comes in off the teleport. Marlang goes in. I mean, it's a nice attempt. It's all that he can really do. All that he can remain hopeful for.
Oh no! Why?
Yeah, this is
Sad as Azir.
Filter for sure.
Why is he even in that bush with less than half health? Oh man.
I like the Umbral Glaive purchase here at 30 minutes. There's a lot of wards that Graves needs to be clearing as he's permanently inside of his own base. Didn't want to go lethality earlier on because he needed the Black Cleaver for all the magic damage that his teammates deal.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe just maybe trying to play into the aiming win card, but that did not happen the way they were hoping. There is the TP ultimate. You can see the insane value that's getting. Marlang just going to get deleted. And that should be the end of game number one. Mireu going to look for some more. He's going to go into the death chamber here, trying to take down Smeb. And will be able to in the end. That's going to be a nice arrow. Catches him inside the base. Ucal finally going to get a decent Emperor's Divide, but it just does not matter.